What do you say when you tell someone that you live with a chronic illness and they say, but you look so good? Hi, welcome to today's episode of In the Kitchen, Keeping It Real. I'm your host, Ariyele, and today we're going to be doing the second part of cooking with chronic illness, another installment. I'm going to share a little bit more with you guys about my own story and show you a really easy, fast meal that you can have on hand that's super nourishing and helpful when you don't feel well and you don't feel like cooking. Definitely you want to check out the episodes on how to make some of these things because these are the kinds of things that I really draw from a lot when I'm sick. I kind of try and just make sure that any output I do have going towards cooking is for these things. I have some roasted butternut squash. A tip for you folks out there who are like, roasted butternut squash, that's not happening. And I know because it's, first of all, such a heavy vegetable, and then you have to really spend all this time chopping it. You can buy these already pre-ready to go and roasted. So total cooking with chronic illness tip is buy your veggies ready to go. I've got some rainbow chard stems, and these have been blanched really quickly. You can click the link to watch the blanching episode. And I've got some fresh pesto parsley gremolata sauce in the fridge. And so all I have to do is make quinoa. And quinoa takes about 12 minutes, and I'm gonna cook it in some bone broth. So let's go over to the stove and I'm gonna show you what I've got going on. Over here I have some quinoa that's on a simmer. As you can see, I just raised the heat a little bit to get the simmer up a little faster. And it'll take about 12 minutes from start to finish. So we'll check back in on this. You don't need to cover it, you don't need to touch it. You literally just wait, let it simmer, let the greens absorb the fluid, and then fluff it and you're ready to go. So I talked to you guys the first time I was, that I did one of these about my experience being sick and just, you know, really tried to empathize with everyone out there about how hard it is to cook when you don't feel well. That awesome medication that I was taking has ended, and so I've been kind of on a roller coaster ride since stopping. And again, you can see with cooking with chronic illness, there's a lot of downtime. I'm waiting for my quinoa and I'm just kind of chilling. If I had a like little lazy boy, I would totally rock out in the lazy boy right now. But yeah, one of the reasons I asked the question is that, you know, you're looking at me and you probably can't tell that I feel as sick as I do. So when people say to me like, you look so good, on the one hand, it's like, that's awesome, right? I'm glad that I look good if I don't feel good. On the other hand, it's hard because people don't see that there's a real struggle happening. So much of my life with this chronic illness is about managing it, making sure that I rest after I do energy output, making sure that I am eating really healthy food. And, you know, at the end of the day, the thing that makes the biggest difference for me is my diet, my stress levels, and acupuncture, taking Chinese herbs regularly, which I do, and lifestyle changes. So in some ways, I'm like grateful that I can move through the world and you don't know. But in other times it can be hard because people don't see it and they almost don't believe you. And when I was growing up, it's probably not hard for you guys to believe, but I didn't really give a shit what anybody thought about me. Excuse my French. But for some reason when I got sick, it just pulled the trigger for me of like, I'm not lying about this. Like, it's happening. I don't know what makes it happen, but it is. I wanted to do this show to share all of my hope with you. I wanted to inspire you in the kitchen. I wanted to share my healthy food with you. And I wanted to show you that there is hope and that different things, all these different things, there's no one thing, no magic bullet that has made me better. But there are a series of things that I do on a regular basis that have led me to a beautiful, happy life. If you don't do that, there's not much, right? So our quinoa's done. We're gonna plate it up. If you don't have the strength to lift pots and pans and spend time in the kitchen, definitely get help with a task rabbit. I have one on the scene as we speak, here to help me with all of the other work that comes with filming a cooking show. First, I'm gonna add some parsley sauce. Another resource I wanna tell you guys about, if you happen to be lucky enough to be in the Bay Area, there's a spot called Three Stone Hearth, and they make nutrient-dense, nourishing whole foods, and they deliver, and I utilized them when I was really sick as well. Everything that you see here, and then some, you can find. Look at how beautiful that is. Tell me that you feel like a little rainbow in your life will bring you up. I know it would me. Nice, wholesome. Got the crunch from the vegetables. I've got that nice flavoring from my sauce. Thank you so much for hanging out. Check us every Wednesday on YouTube, like my Facebook page, and share my show, especially if you know anyone that's suffering with any kind of illness. This is your source every week, once a week, a wholesome, whole foods recipe for you and your family to feel like you're nourishing your body. I really hope that you feel as well as possible. Ciao.